Yo guys, what is going on? It is your boy Nick from Run the Foot Market. I have a brand new video for you guys today, and what we're going to be talking about is the Champions League cards, and I made a video about this yesterday or the day before, kind of preparing you guys for what could be happening this week. And we're going to kind of do an kind of like overall just analysis of like what happened today, what's going on, and where I think the future of cards are. I also am going to tell you guys how I think you guys can make some coins off these cards. If you guys enjoy the video, drop a thumbs up, and yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I'm ready to go. So what we got today was we got a UCL common upgrade. So in this pack, it's really not good. You had to exchange. This one is fine. You have to exchange just 11 gold players to get a common, and then you could put the common into the 81 plus. The only problem is the 81 plus, you only get one. You do not get two players, and it's a rare player. And it costs about 40,000 coins if you don't have things, if you're doing it from scratch. So that's not very worth it. However, we did get another UCL marquee matchups, and in the marquee matchups, what they put in was a 3-player tradable pack, I think. So in that marquee matchups, which I already completed, you were able to pack any of them. And so what happened was we got another supply of Champions League cards. Now, I have not bought any of these cards yet, and there's a reason for that. So this supply of Champions League cards, this is now the third supply. And this is so there was one that came out. Initially, guys, we had the first supply, which came out. I think it came out like one of the first weeks of FIFA, and then we had one the second time. So the last time we made a lot of coins off these. We bought back in probably within the first day or so of them being in packs, because it's a non-repeatable. The tradables are non-repeatable. So you have a one-time supply, and then it gets put onto the market. So like, we probably made some good coins. We sold after rewards on Thursday. I have not bought yet because what I noticed earlier was that there was the same amount of supply coming in. So this would be now almost like the third supply, but it was like weird. Like it wasn't dropping, and I was like, why is it not dropping? So for me, I saw it as people were investing, and it seemed almost like over investment to me, and I wasn't crazy about it. So I haven't bought, and it's actually been a good decision, right? They've been coming down. You guys are watching this right now. It's probably like 1 or 2 in the morning UK. That's kind of where we're at in terms of like when my look at the market right now is the overnight EU hours, about 12 hours after this SBC dropped. So they're starting to come down a little bit, and I'm starting to be interested in some of them. The ones that I'm interested in is like Jesus, Fred, and there's a reason for this. What I tell you guys as well is that I always use this PGP tab on Footbin. At the top left corner of Footbin, there's a thing if you go to players and you go to PGP, right? And what this is, it's going to show you, if you look at UCLs and then rares, if you sort it by games, it's going to show you the most popular rare UCL players. So you guys can get a kind of idea of like who is the most used, and then look and see if like, yo, is this guy down a lot today? Is he not down today? So like, I've been looking at this tab, or this section rather, to kind of give me a heads up in terms of like, hey, is this guy low? Is this guy higher? That's kind of what I've been, that's my kind of game plan with this. So I've been using it to almost help me kind of get a gauge for like who's the most used and is this down. So like for me today, right, Fred has been a guy that I've been watching all day. Last time the UCLs came out, I bought Fred's at like 55 and sold at 75 after rewards. So I do like Fred. I think Fred is actually one of the cards that will be very used. I think Fred under 45 is good. Here's what I will warn you guys. I think personally, and this is just a personal opinion, I don't think blues have the flair that they used to have. And what do I mean by that is that I think the blues are not as popular. And I think as we're now further into FIFA, we've now got 7 team of the weeks. We've got 8 team of the weeks maybe by the time you're seeing this video. And like, I just think that you've got so much going on that I actually don't know how good blues are going to be long term. I just don't personally know. How good are these blues going to be? We'll have to see. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're good, but it worries me a little bit that I don't know how popular these cards are in comparison to maybe about a month ago or even 2 weeks ago. I think that more people were using them 2 to 4 weeks ago, and I think that puts some more stress on them long-term investment-wise. I think that is something that I'm not crazy about. But again, you have players like Fred, right? I personally think Fred's going to hold a different value all year compared to other players, because Fred is a guy that may not get an inform with Manchester United all year. So what that could lead to essentially is that this is his inform, right? He does have that OTW, but guys, I mean, the OTW is dead, right? Like he's not scoring. He's not really playing much. So that's got a significance. I think the interesting thing is Allen, and I think you look at Allen, and I talk about this thing called complementary goods, and Foot of Comments talks about it a lot. It's basically, a short term for the fancy word is that it's a player that links to a player that's new and helps hybrid. So like for me, Mertens is going to get an inform this week. Allen could be a good look, right? He's down. He's like 37 yesterday. He's 36, and this is my problem. You guys can see this: 37 yesterday, 36 right now. That's my problem, and this is why I do think, as I drop my controller, I think, guys, that these guys have some room to come down, and that's what I personally feel like. I want to highlight a really good example in Varane. Because Varane yesterday when I was on the market, Varane was 320,000 coins. Now he's 360. That makes no sense to me. We get an SBC today, and Varane goes up 30K with tradable supply. Why is that happening? So there's certain players that you do want to steer clear of, and it does make me feel like some of these players are going to go down a little bit more. Thibaut Courtois is another one of them. Thibaut's like 220. I think if you get Thibaut around 215, that's a really good look. What I would tell you guys with these blues, I know a lot of you guys have coins right now. I know you guys want to buy things. If you're going to buy any of these blues, you have to sell them Thursday after rewards. I'm not going to let you keep them until after this week because I think next week, personally, I feel like the market gets ugly. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to be too hot. And I think that it's definitely a risk if you're going to buy these long term. That's something that you have to personally acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm taking a risk. And that's sucky, right? Like, so I would not, if you're going to buy any of these, you have to buy really good. And I would buy players that are more rare or meta in demand because then you have a longer term potential success rate on them. Like, I would also stick away from players personally, right? Like, we talk about Sadio Mane. He's a little bit of a problem for me. He's got a team of the week card this week, and it's dropping a lot right now. And that is a problem because for me, it feels like that keeps his blue card down in value, and I don't like that at all. I don't think that that's a good look long term. I'm not crazy about that long term that's going to keep his blue card down. That's not something that I'm really, really loving. And so that's something that you have to look into is like maybe something you stay away from. Now, Nainggolan's one that, again, right, he does have that OTW. Nainggolan is a good look in my eyes because of the way that people play. You know, look, he's a very popular player, right? I cannot deny the fact of that. And then you've got some other ones. Look, I think Kyle Walker's a guy that if you do want to pick him up, this is a decent time. I'm looking at buying these cards probably tomorrow or Thursday morning. I think maybe if you guys want to wait it out with the blues, it might be the best time to buy them Thursday before rewards. I'm kind of thinking that could be a little bit of a highlight time to get in with them. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm expecting overnight these cards to start dropping down a little bit. I don't know. I think what will happen is that the market will lose their buyers. These cards are all a little bit too rare for me right now. I don't know if the pack weight was maybe lowered today because it honestly doesn't. The most surprising piece for me is that, you know, these guys are actually like, there's an insane amount of these cards on the market in the lower tier. Now, in the higher tier, there's not that many. But if you look at the difference between like Leroy Sané, 87 rated, I mean, look at how many pages there are. But let's look at like Paul Pogba at 89 rated. You have almost none. And I think that is very interesting to kind of like analyze that dynamic there. Like, I don't know what it means. But definitely if you're going to be trying to pick up some of these UCL cards, I would probably try to steer towards more of the cards that are like rarer. Because for me, that's going to give them a higher rise potential, if you guys know what I'm saying. Like, I think you guys will have the ability to make a little bit more coinage on the ones that are rare. I think that that's going to do you guys better probably in the long term. So yeah, I would look at those ones over maybe some of the ones that are less rare. And then obviously, look, I have all these concept squads. You guys know I'm trading with them. Right now would be a really good time to trade with UCLs. You guys don't always have to invest, but right now would be a good time to get a concept squad together and get a bunch of players in that team and just kind of filter through and look at prices, right? Like, look into this stuff. See, Sandro was 210 last hour, and this hour he's 180, right? Maybe pick one up and try to flip it overnight at 200. That's kind of the concept of like trading with these UCLs, and it's very effective. It's very good, guys. And it's a way that you all will be able to make a lot of coins. Again, I can't stress it enough. If you guys are going for a player, be careful, right? Aguero scores a lot of goals. Don't get stuck with his UCL card. That's not a good look. Be careful with a lot of these cards around game days. They do follow the trend. Like, if a player is scoring a lot, like I guarantee if Dybala has a hat trick, that blue might go down a little bit. So you guys want to be careful holding on to any of these long term. For now, I recommend that you guys just trade with these cards. That's as simple as it is. You've got some very, very questionable SBCs. And look, we have to be honest, guys. The market right now is very unstable. It's just very weird. The index for the UCLs earlier was down. I think we're down like 16 points on the day. So 57, and it's now 45. And it is still dropping. So you guys know the market for the UCLs is still currently dropping at this moment that we're speaking. So I think that it's going to continue to go this way. I think that personally, guys, I genuinely feel like this is probably going to continue to go a little bit lower. And I think that Thursday, I think it might start to recover a little bit tomorrow/tomorrow night. And then I think Thursday morning, the true test for me is that Thursday morning, I think if you want any of these guys long-term, Thursday morning might be an excellent time to pick these guys up. I think that there might be a lot of panic. I remember last time when I bought these UCLs, they were like the same price I bought them at Thursday morning, which told me that a lot of people were panic selling. I mean, that's really what it told me. At the end of the day, it told me that Thursday morning, a lot of people were getting out of these cards and trying to panic them. And that's what I would look at. I think we're always looking for panic selling when we're looking at cards, guys. And I think that's like always the number one kind of resource almost for making coins, is that this idea of like people panicking and people freaking out. That's probably what we're looking for. We're probably waiting for that kind of that almost panic selling window to do some moves and move around with these guys. So guys, get in the comments down below. Like, just let me know if you guys have questions and things like that. I want to show you guys so you guys can see. I don't have any blues right now, so I decided today to not go in on them. And the reason for that is because I just felt like the supply was a lot. You guys can see these blues right here, untradeable. I just felt like the supply was a lot, and I felt like it wasn't necessary. And for me, it almost felt a little bit more forced. And that was something that I just wasn't comfortable buying into, so I just personally didn't buy into it. So yeah, guys, that's where we're at with blues. If you see any crazy deals, obviously use flipping, analyze it like that, use the hourlies and things like that to figure out, like, is it a good look? And yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video today, man. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel recently. The support has been nuts. And let's keep going, man. Let's have a good week ahead. And thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in a video soon. Peace out.